Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Nicole, the Director of Marketing and Community Engagement at Connecting for Results. We're your one-stop for M&A, recruiting, and consulting services in print and packaging. Welcome to our video series on lessons learned. With so much change happening in the print industry right now, it's important to rely on advice that stands the test of time. In this video series, we'll share tips on different topics that affect leaders today and suggestions on how to approach them. Today, I'm joined with Gord Griffiths, our CEO and co-founder. Gord, it's great to see you again.
Nicole, it's great to be back and it's great to be seen.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Today we're going to focus on the topic of continuous learning. Most of us have encountered big changes in the way we work, especially in the last few years, and I think that's a bit of an understatement. It seems now more than ever, there's always something new to learn, and especially for leaders. Gord, why is continuous learning so important to you?
Well, people are a hidden asset. And I was taught this lesson years ago where I would go to the person doing the job to get the facts. And I'd sit around at night with my colleagues and we'd talk about what the speed should be on a piece of equipment. But usually those colleagues were lower in their estimate than the person doing the job. The people in manufacturing seem to always want to do better than we guessed. But one time I sat around and it went the opposite way, where people felt that the stitcher should be running at 18,000 an hour because that's what the salesperson sold the machine at. But of course, when I went out in the plant to talk to the people in the bindery, they said, well, Gord, that's the speed without a signature in the hopper. And the more signatures you put in the hopper, the less speed you're going to get. So that's real. And I have learned to discount my colleagues' advice and go to the person doing the job, because that's where you get the true facts. And the fact is, usually they will come up with something very simple to make a correction to improve these metrics over time. So I'm a great believer in going to the person that's doing the job and asking them the question, and I usually get a very positive and factual answer.
Right. Well, and Gord, working with you, I know keep it simple or keep things simple is one of your mottos. And I don't think it's ever, it's always served you well. So another lesson there that I wanted to mention for everyone watching. And I think one misconception about continuous learning is that it's just for employees and not for leaders. But you've really illustrated the value of keeping an open mind and, no matter what your rank or position is in an organization, no matter how much experience you have, there's always more to learn. And I think that's a very refreshing outlook.
The other example that I can think of is we used to print business publications for our head office. We were owned by a publisher. And we'd sit around once a month and it would be, how can we do it better? And every month they brought up that the appointment notices always seemed to be dark. And of course, it would continue month to month and we'd talk about it, but we really didn't come up with the answer. And then one day, one of the publishers said before we left for lunch, could he have a quick tour? And so I took him on the tour and we ran into actually a camera operator. And back in those days, we had what we had called photomechanical transfer, PMT prints. And it would be like pasting up artwork on a board, which the camera operator would shoot and we turn it into a negative and then a plate. And so we told the camera operator what we'd been talking about. And he said, well, you send it over at 133 line screen. If you send it over at 85 line, it would be perfect because our press that we were printing on had a press gain. And honestly, we in management didn't know that. And the customers switched to 85 screen, and the problem was solved forever. So if we hadn't have taken that tour, I would have, embarrassingly told you today that it never got fixed. But because we went to the source by accident, it got fixed. But from that day forward, I would go and ask the question of whoever was doing the job. And I learned the hard way that go ask the person doing the job. They'll tell you how to correct it. So that's an example also of communications.
Right, that's
So,
very true.
yeah.
And keep it simple. Again, the person who's doing the job is the expert. And I think that's a really humble approach for a leader and a really great example. Gord, thanks for sharing your insights as always. I think you're just reminding leaders that they don't have to be perfect and that's okay. And that there's always room for learning, but that's a positive thing.
Well, maybe it's my being so humble, but if you hire the right people, they're going to always teach you something. So thank you very much, and it was a pleasure to be with you again.
Thank you. So for those of you watching, if you're looking to further develop your leadership skills, give us a call. Our team of people and leadership experts are here to help. And if you missed our latest videos on teamwork and people, I encourage you to check them out. I'll include the links below in the description box. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one.